Hi everyone. As regular watchers of my channel will know, I'm not a fan of the group in Syria, the White Helmets, that are supposed to be these whiter than white heroes who are saving the Syrian people from atrocities that are going on in their country with the fighting between government and anti-government forces. And by anti-government forces, I specifically mean the so-called moderate rebels, as they call them in the mainstream media. As we know, as you should know by now, and if you don't, watch more of my videos, because they're not moderate rebels, they're terrorists. 60% of them have been either Al-Qaeda, Al-Nusra, Army of Islam. That's where they're coming from. They're coming from ISIS, they're coming from Al-Qaeda, they're coming from Al-Nusra, which is Al-Qaeda in Syria, and they're coming from the Army of Islam. The White Helmets are setting up their camps, setting up their bases right next door to the Al-Qaeda headquarters in places like Aleppo and Eastern Ghouta. This is something that we're seeing over and over again, and the White Helmets are funded by, among other countries, chiefly the United Kingdom and United States. So it was a bit of a boost for me a few months ago when Trump said he was going to stop funding, and on the 4th of May, this article in the Telegraph explains, the White Helmets Rescue Group have the US funding frozen. So Trump said he was going to freeze it, and then in May it was frozen. Now, I didn't cover this simply because I thought they'll find another way to fund it. Sure enough, today, United States relenting, releases funding for the Syrian White Helmets. This is the Wall Street Journal. The Trump administration had decided to halt funding for the volunteer rescue organisation in March. So they're going to keep funding this organisation, which which is the organisation that is filming these so-called chemical attacks, and then it coming out later that it probably isn't a chemical attack. And I've just realised that my face is shining because can't do anything about the light coming in through the window. I have actually got the drapes drawn. So this is where we're getting the information of these chemical attacks from the White Helmets. These White Helmets who are setting up their bases next door to Al-Qaeda. Carla Ortiz, who is an American Bolivian actress and journalist who went to Syria and has done some excellent documentaries, as I've covered in the past. She's said that when Aleppo was being liberated and the people were coming out of Aleppo, being freed from Aleppo, she was asking the people who were coming out, what about the White Helmets? How are they helping you? And they didn't know who the White Helmets were. So she'd show them a picture of them in uniform with the badge on their coat. And the people, the residents of Syria, the ordinary people of Syria, regular ordinary people, were saying, they're with the terrorists. They don't help us. They only help the terrorists. They only help the moderate rebels. These people that the US and the UK and other countries are funding to overthrow Assad. Connect the dots here. Where's Rachel Maddow when you need her? She'll connect the dots between anything. Last week she connected the dots between North Korea, the peace deal with North Korea, and Russia. Why can't she connect these dots? These dots are so close together it's easy. We fund the moderate rebels who are trying to overthrow Assad, and we also fund the Syrian Defence League, which is just stupid calling them then, the White Helmets. We fund them, and the locals are saying they're working with the terrorists. It does not take Inspector Morse, it does not take Agatha Christie to figure out what's going on here. I've created a petition to stop the UK funding this organisation. I'll leave a link down there. So if you are in the UK, please sign it. If you're in other countries, I suggest you either sign one yourself or start one yourself, because this is horrific. These are the people that we're getting the details of these chemical attacks from, and then it coming out afterwards that, well, actually there probably wasn't a chemical attack. The United Nations, specifically in 2012 when Obama went to Congress and said, can I bomb Syria? And Congress said no. That was based on a chemical attack that the United Nations have since said it was probably done by the rebels trying to get Western intervention in the war. That's what the United Nations say. That's not me, it's the United Nations. Then there was the bombing last year in 2017. By the way, Ivanka Trump, she was meant to have changed her father's, Donald Trump, the President of America's, mind on that and got him to bomb that airfield based on the pictures of the people, of the children in devastating conditions and dying. Where is she on this border issue, Ivanka? Where are you on this? Where you got children crying and taken from their parents and in detention centres and then sent back home where they're murdered and killed. Hypocrisy. So he bombed this airfield in 2017. General Mattis has come out and said there is still, over a year later, still no evidence to point to the fact that it was Assad that did it. No evidence. Why would he? As Rand Paul says, why would he do the one thing that galvanizes the whole world in making action against him? He must be the dumbest dictator on earth if that's the case. And it's true. And when I saw this, I thought to myself, I know what this means. I know exactly what this means. I know what this means we can expect. And not long ago, I saw, hey, the Russian Foreign Ministry thinks exactly the same way as me. This is in Russian. This is from a lady called, her name is Maria Zakharova. She's the spokeswoman for the Russian Foreign Ministry. And she basically put my thoughts down in a press conference. I think this is from today or yesterday. On this fact the US is going to continue funding of the White Helmets. Now, this is in Russian. It's got subtitles, but I'm going to read it out anyway for anybody listening and not watching. She says, after a new round of the financial support, which is a huge one if we take into account what is going on in the region, and the need of the huge financial inflow which the citizens need, well, following this new round, we are expecting more disinformation with regards to the use of chemical weapons by the Syrian government against citizens. It's simply the ordered and paid for operations. And of course, we are getting messages saying that such provocations are being prepared. If we get credible information, we will seek to inform the public in advance in order to avert such actions. And that's exactly what I thought straight away. There's going to be another chemical attack in Syria. And I bet you it'll be the Syrian Defence League, or the White Helmets. I've got to start calling them the White Helmets because they're actually not the Syrian Defence League. They're called that, but there is another organisation that has been called that for 30, 40 years. They are the White Helmets. They are a propaganda outlet for the West to try and manufacture consent to go to war in Syria and overthrow Assad and put in some puppet dictator who will crush the people, crush dissent, and be pro-West. Please sign the petition and share the petition as well. If you can't sign it, if you're in another country, please share it wherever you can. We have started. Again, I'll leave a link below to it. It needs more signatures. We need to get at least 10,000. It hasn't even reached 1,000 yet. We need to get people like John Pilger and Vanessa Beeley and who's the guy from Pink Floyd. We need to get them who are outspoken about this to get the word out, to get more people to sign this petition and get it actually debated in the House of Commons. We need 100,000 for that. So we're well short. We've got until November to do it. So time's running out. So please share that. And please spread the word about these White Helmets because they are a propaganda outlet just designed to manufacture consent in the UK and the US for more war in Syria. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, please subscribe and please click the bell down there so you get a notification of when I drop further videos. Otherwise, YouTube will hide the video from you. Yes, they have admitted that they do that. Also, we're facing an absolute onslaught in independent media from the establishment at the moment, including YouTube. I don't make any money from YouTube whatsoever. I rely totally on the audience for me to continue doing this. So if you can afford to send me $2, $3, $5, whatever it is that you can afford through Patreon, again, the link is down there, I will be eternally grateful, and it'll allow me to keep giving you the truth and cut through the propaganda and the BS that we get from the corporate and establishment media. If you can't afford to do it, please share the video as wide as you can. Talk to your friends and family about the issues that I and other channels on YouTube who are independent raise. Thanks very much for your support. We have to fight back against this. Till next time, peace and take care.